pays tribute.
Thank you. Isn't that lovely? And you meant it, too. That's what thrills me. It came from your heart. It came from that sign up there that says, applaud or we throw you out. No. I have in my hand a book here called Among My Clediments by my co-host. How many know what clediments are? How many read this book? How many know what clediments are? Would you like to know what clediments are?
Yes.
We all have closets full of them. And we do. We have attics full of them. Almost anything that has earned a right to be part of things close to you, a thing you love, a person dear to you. You're sitting next to a clediment, lady. Here now. I've been trying to meet these sisters all week, and we're finally going to do it today. We're going to meet Helen and Anita, as well as June Carter Cash, my co-host.
Inviting you to stay tuned for more of the Mike Douglas Show, featuring my sweet wife, June Carter Cash.
Despite warnings from one man in black by the name of Johnny Cash not to talk to the Carter sisters. He said,
really?
Yes, he said, I want to spare you that. I want to talk to the Carter sisters. I want to introduce you to Helen and Anita Carter. Would you welcome them? Helen's your oldest sister, and Anita's in the middle?
Anita's, no, I'm in the middle.
Oh, you're in the middle?
I'm in the middtle. She's the youngest
That's what you like being, isn't it? Tell us about this sister of yours. Helen, since you're the oldest, I want you to talk first.
You're going to talk about me?
Yeah, I want to talk about you.
Oh, mercy.
Oh, boy, we have some good stories to tell on June. You know, one thing in particular, she's probably going to take me backstage and flog me good when I get through, but several years ago, we worked on a show with fella called Elvis Presley.
Oh, mercy, tell how long ago it was. Please.
Don't tell how long. This was back years ago, back in the 1956. Was it 56 or 55, Anita? Do you remember 56?
Oh, goodness.
From really before he had come into prominence, wasn't
That's right.
Yeah, right in 56. We worked together. You're not going to tell...
Yeah.
Please tell it.
We need to know, the world needs to know this.
No,
It was really cute.
I love this.
Cute my foot.
They're talking about Elvis Preslly. Now tell what happened. This
You
is
go
great.
ahead. You're best at it. You know what
Oh, I'm
happened.
going to get to talk for once.
Well, I tell you,
Wonderful.
baby sister.
Okay, we were sitting backstage, watching the Rubin brothers, our and Charlie. And June was sitting there, and Elvis had a habit of just kind of coming up and kneeling in front of you. And we really loved him. He was really a nice person to work with. And anyway, he liked to tease you a lot. And June was sitting there, just watching and listening and everything and talking to us. And so all of a sudden, he just sort of reached here and flipped a little bit of her underwear that has the elastic in it, And June, without thinking, just went clunk and hit him right under the chin and backhanded him over onto the stage, He laughed about it. He laughed about it, and he still loved her, so it was all right. But
It wasn't just a little flip. It wasn't just...
He gave it a big snap job, huh?
Oh, Anita. Well, see, I'm watching the Iron Charlie on the stage, and it was, I didn't want this to ever get out, Anita.
Now's a good time.
So we might as well share it with everybody else.
Well, no, I'm sitting here like this, and then I thought, he's not doing what I think he's doing. I know he's not. He can't be. I thought, he is flipping my garter. And I just kicked him right under the chin like that, and he went boogity, boogity, boogity all the way across the stage. And he got a standing ovation. He hadn't even been on yet. But I don't...
Did he tell a story when he finally got on
I doubt if
stage?
he ever told that story, and I'm sure he's flipped a lot of girls' garters, but I doubt if he ever got it in the chin with a foot before, because...
Didn't one of you literally kick him out of the car for something he said?
I did.
Tell that. That's
Well,
wonderful.
I can't tell what he said,
Well,
but it was just a word that I wasn't used to hearing. And it wasn't all that bad. I say it every now and then since I'm a little more grown. But at that time, I wasn't too accustomed to hearing it. And so we were in my mother's car, our mother's car, and I was taking him to do an interview at a radio station. And he came out with this word. And I said, "You're not going to talk like that in front of me. Just get out of the car." And he said, "You got to be kidding." I said, "I'm not kidding. Get out, out, out."
Right?
But
did he get out?
Yes, he got out, and then he was out there banging on the window saying, "Could I please get back into the car?" I said, "Okay, if you..." He said, I promise I won't say that anymore." And he did, and he was very nice to us.
He was nice to us, really. After I kicked him in the chin. No, everything... What's the matter?
Tell me what she was like as a little girl.
Gosh.
She was a tomboy.
Was she really?
Well, she was our daddy's boy. She drove the
Daddy
tractor.
wanted a boy, and...
He wanted a boy, and in fact, when I came along, he was ready to put me in the river. He said, I don't want another one. I refuse to have another girl, and I don't really think you're mine. But no, he wasn't that bad. But June could do anything.
She could get away with it.
Yeah, she drove the tractor. She rode the motorcycle with Daddy. She had no fear of anything. She'd ride a horse. She'd do anything that guys normally could do,
Was she
I
a
couldn't
fast
do
talker
anything.
as a kid?
Oh, yes. She talked her... The first time that I remember June ever really... the first time I saw her really con Daddy good. She was... I don't know, 3 or 4 years old or something. She had screamed. That girl had screamed. You could not believe how long she screamed. And I'm 2 years older, and Daddy always, he could speak to me, and I scared death of my daddy, And here was this June just yelling like a banshee, and all at once Daddy says, "June, if you don't hush, I am going out to the garden, and I'm going to get me some peach tree tea, and I'm going to warm your legs." And she just kept on yelling. So finally, Daddy, he proceeded to go out in the garden and got his peach tree tea. In case you all don't know what peach tree tea is, that's a little peach limb, and it's real limber, and it'll just sting your legs good when somebody goes like this on. But Daddy went to get it, and when he come back, June was sitting there, and I never will forget the look on her face. She was there, and there were tears, just big tears, just dripping off her chin. And she said, "Daddy, I just a laughing and no whipping. No whipping, not a bit. And Daddy, she got Daddy right
You had
then
his
and there.
number good, didn't you?
I don't know. He was a great man. He really was. Enjoyed my daddy. I'm afraid for my sisters to talk anymore. Afraid there'll be a new book out on the market in a hot minute here.
How did you guys, because I often talk about it on this show, that my family never talked about the birds and the bees.
No.
And we never heard the word sex in our house, okay? I never heard it. I learned it all in the band business on the streets with the other kids. How did you learn about the birds and the bees?
Oh. Well, we were really well protected. We traveled with our mother, Maybelle, you know. And being in the business like we were and being in the car with Mother and Daddy all the time, you don't know about the birds and the bees.
Yeah, but they must have. Your mother must have warned
No,
you.
she never said a word.
Anything.
Never. No.
Except there are some things nice girls do not do. You don't do this. And Daddy had some very strict rules. In fact, he told us when we were just young girls, he said, you remember this. You have got to live twice as good as the girl next door because someone's watching you. He said, you remember that they're looking at you. And I guess he got his message across because, and he also, he ruled us with an iron hand. We had a curfew. I would come in at 11 o'clock. I couldn't date by myself until I was 18.
I had to go with her all the time.
You didn't date till you were 18?
No, I went with her everywhere she went.
I had to have someone to go with me or
Me,
a
I
double
did.
date. Mm-hmm.
I did.
She dated when she was 16. She got away with it.
Had Daddy's number.
I didn't, Joe. I didn't.
Believe me.
No, she really could, but like when I was dating the guy, my first husband, I was dating him. My father said, be in at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. I was 17 years old, but I had to be home at 9 o'clock. So I slipped off and married him, and that's how I found out about the birds and the bees. But it was, I mean, he's okay. He's a nice man, but it was a mistake. Yeah. You know, but anyway.
You're too young and too inexperienced.
Yeah, I think it's best to tell, you know.
Oh,
I think it's best to tell. I mean, I knew. I don't remember who told me. Somewhere down the line, I knew about it.
Aunt Sarah.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
How did
I
she
had
tell
read
you,
a book.
Helen? Aunt Sarah.
She just told me there's some things that I should know. I remember, and she sat down and proceeded to go into detail and told me. She said, "Now you've got to conduct yourself as a lady. Now you mustn't do this and you mustn't do that." And see, she was Uncle A.P.'s wife, and they had like 3 children. And I think she just figured all of us would run off and get married at very young ages,
sure.
you know. But we didn't. After Anita.
I was the only one that messed up.
I was 22 before I made the big step, and I think the longer, when I was around 18, I decided I just had to get married, you know. And looking back,
Seemed like the thing to do that.
If I had married then, I probably would have made a mistake too. But as the years, as I got older, I realized that I had plenty of time. And,
Oh, sure.
And so I was almost 23 when I was married.
We have a tape that you're going to love. This tape, this is a tape of your first national TV appearance, right?
It's at the very beginning, and, you know, Mother Maybelle has been, well, we lost Mother going on 3 years ago now. Mother's on this tape, I think. It was the first time we were ever on network television.
Kate Smith show?
The Kate Smith Evening Hour. It was live. It was 1951 from New York City. I remember that, and I'm afraid to even look.
The quality of this tape is not that good because it's 1951, but you're going to love watching it.